Good. 14 years ago, I remember giving a presentation at a QUT entrepreneur event for my first startup. And to see that QUT has not only continued its support, but grown its support for the cause of entrepreneurship over all of these years, I think is something truly to be proud of. So we know what QUT's been doing for the last 14 years, but what have we been doing ever since I gave that presentation 14 years ago? I'd like to tell you about where we've been, where we are at right now, and where we're going to. So back then I was involved in the online car rental space, and I still am now in a way. I founded 3 car rental sites, most notably Vroom 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 and Oodles. And the number one red line that goes through each of these businesses is a customer pain point. And that pain point, a lot of you will know it if you've ever rented a car before. When you go to the airport to pick up your car, and then you find that the rental insurance costs as much, if not more, than the rental itself. Now, people hated that back then, and they hate it now. I had a lot of travel insurance companies come to us and say they wanted to offer us their one-size-fits-all travel insurance policy, which included a small section for car rental insurance. I told them, look, if you can create a niche product for us, specifically for car rental, so that people don't have to pay for the one-size-fits-all just for the car rental, then we'll sell it. But they never did. So in 2011, when I was no longer involved in car rental, I went to a big travel insurance company and I said, look, can you make this product for us? And they said yes. That insurance company was Allianz Global Assist. And in 2012, just as a test to see if it would work, we launched tripcover.com.au. On a shoestring budget, Des designed, managed and ran the business to the point where we've now sold over 12,000 policies and over $500,000 in sales. In the last 3 quarters, we've got some really good growth. But even as the category is now becoming a little bit more well known. But regardless of that, we thought over a year ago that this is not a very defendable category. It's not a huge barrier to entry. So we decided to create a B2B model in parallel. And that means other travel retailers can access the same content that TripCover has in competition to TripCover. So to do this, we got a $40,000 grant from the Chilean government, of all things, and to create Pablow API. And that's where Andrew came in. Andrew's experience working with Virgin Australia Airlines, running their API distribution, he's built Pablow API with that large-scale e-commerce in mind. And right now, Pablow is powering the TripCover website. So the Allianz insurance is fed into the Pablow platform, and it's fed out then to the TripCover site. We are in the process of business development now right in the Australian market because we have contracts for Australia and New Zealand with Allianz. So we're talking to retailers, travel retailers in the Australian market who want to connect, who want to sell and connect to car rental excess insurance, but they don't want to build their own software, and they definitely don't want to go down the track of trying to contract with big travel insurance companies. Because that's what it looks like. When you try and take 6 to 12 months to do a contract, the large insurance companies, they have their legal teams, their compliance teams, their underwriters, it's a heavily regulated market. That's what it feels like. But that's what the outcome looks like when Pablow's involved, because we remove all of the barriers to a large travel insurance company working with a small to medium travel retailer. And the end result is that contracting can happen digitally. And this is the key aspect, the key ingredient of the model.